All right. G'day, Fred. Thanks for joining me. This segment I'll call Chewing the Fat. So just if you can just tell us a little bit about yourself, how you got into the drums,
hmm
general chit chat.
Yeah. Well, I'm originally from Peru. I'm 33 years old. I started playing when I was 13, and my dad has been always. He's also a drummer. He's a sound engineer. So since I'm a baby, he's always been bringing instruments and stuff to the house, right? And to be honest, I wasn't interested. I was all about drawing and making art. So in some point, I just got interested into it for some reason. I will give it the credit to Dave Grohl. I was listening to a Nirvana song, and then I started like picking forks and knives, trying to learn, simulate what drumming is like. It's crazy. It's crazy. So that's how I actually got interested into it and realizing all about the drums. So 20 years fast forward, pretty much. Uh, I migrated from Peru to the United States. I was doing really well in Peru already, a well-known drummer, playing with all these bands. But I decided that I wanted a little more, so that's how I came to the U.S. And I had to pretty much start over. I had to start over in a new country. It's really difficult. So it usually takes in between year and a half, 2 years to go through, Craigslist and try to find the right gig for you until you find the people that you're gonna be working with for years. So that's how I actually got to work with a band from LA. That the producer is Billy Graziati. He is the guitar player from Biohazard and singer, and he's a big time producer here in LA. So that's how I actually got to meet Billy. And then going through rehearsals with that band, I noticed that his band Powerflo with Sendog from Cypress Hill, they were missing a drummer. So then I was able to find my way in and being like, hey, I'm available, I'm here, I can tour
That's
wherever
cool.
you want. So let me know. And he was like, yeah, actually we are gonna do some auditions. We're
Yeah.
gonna do drum auditions. So I was like, okay, awesome, I'm in. And then I went to the audition. It was like 10 drummers from bunch of bands, well-known bands, and I was able to nail it and connect with them. And so they ended up picking me, and that's how kind of my career started in the United States as a touring musician. Because as soon as I joined the band, we did a tour in the United States with Life of Agony, and then with the East Coast, we went to East Coast. That was in 2018. So we played, all these festivals, Hellfest, Grass Pop, and whatnot.
That's awesome. And
Yeah.
yeah, great. Oh, awesome. Mate, so obviously you mentioned Dave Grohl as one of
Yes.
your influences. Is there anyone else that were influenced by or
Absolutely. I mean, that's just what it like woke up my ear to drums, right? But I remember way before that, I was more into like Deep Purple right away. It was one of my favorite bands without even knowing drums or anything. That was like one of my favorites. And then I shifted right away into Nico McBrain, Iron Maiden, of course. You know what I mean? Exactly, exactly. That's one of the main reasons. Like the feels that I have when I play the right cymbal and a bunch of feels that I haven't from Nico, right?
yeah,
I also got to meet Nico a couple years ago. He's a great guy and also a fellow Paisty guy,
yeah,
So he's a legend. So that's one of them. There's also I was really into Mike Portnoy. I was a really
okay,
Dream Theater fan,
yeah,
and right until Mike Portnoy left, pretty much. When he left, I kind of stopped. I kind of stopped feeling the metal also
yeah,
in the
uh,
band. It turned
yeah.
into something more progressive, which I love progressive, but it was just a little different.
It changes. It definitely does change. Yeah,
It definitely is. It definitely does because Porno used to produce the songs, right? And then after he left, the keyboard player Jordan he joined, so it turned into something more progressive, like more musical, right, than
Yeah.
metal.
Yeah.
So yeah, my partner for sure. And then I started diving into drums, but seriously, we can say Jojo Mayer is one of my favorite drummers. He's like a drum and bass. He does all these electronic drum beats in acoustic drums, which is really cool. Dennis Chamber is one of my good ones. For sure, Buddy Reach, for sure. Bonham from Zeppelin, for sure. Carl Palmer from ELP. Ian Pace from Deep Purple.
Hmm.
So it's like all these legend drummers, you get to create your own language on drums.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Um, like a little bit of a background for me, I learned drums when I was in high school, which is a long time ago.
Mm-hmm.
I picked it back up. I went and saw a friend of mine, their band, and they were playing an Iron Maiden covers night.
Nice.
And I thought, you know what, I want to get back into it. So I bought this thing behind me, and it's
Mm-hmm.
it's grown substantially, as things do over the years. But yeah, I just love the drums. I've always loved the drums, and the biggest thing for me was when I saw the first DVD from Iron Maiden, which was Live After Death.
Oh yeah. And
Well, the
you know
drum,
what? You know what about that one? That DVD Live After Death is live in Long Beach. Is where I live
yeah,
now.
yeah. It
Mm-hmm.
was. I saw that drum kit and I thought that's me. And then when I started playing myself, I played for a small little band here in Canberra. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
Not rock. It's like a German folk music, but that's okay. It's not bad.
No,
But I found
exactly.
I found out that the drums is the hardest because no one helps you set up and no one helps you pull it back down. So,
Exactly.
but
Exactly.
I saw that, so that's my influence, and I'm still learning. I'm
Yeah.
very
I
basic.
mean, for example, I grew up in Peru, right? My dad is a musician, so in some point when I started playing, I joined his band, and he used to have this kind of like orchestra. In South America, they have a lot of different kind of music, right? So funk is one of them, blues is one of them, salsa, merengue, and another rhythms from Central America and South America. So all these kind of genres definitely helps you to be a
Yeah,
way better drummer, to
yeah.
be more like to have better reactions every time. You know what I mean? It makes you better. It makes you better.
It does make you better. I'm always been a 4/4 beat. That's my go-to is 4/4. But
Mm-hmm.
when I joined this band, a lot of it is waltzes, so 3/4, and trying to do different combinations to do that sort of thing. So yeah, it definitely has improved me.
Mm-hmm.
So that's for sure, mate. The So I spoke to you earlier about some bands that you play for. So
Mm-hmm.
Dead Groove, Kings of Thrash is where I first met you. Bullet Boys is Billy Bio, is that correct?
Yes.
Yeah, and Powerflo.
Yes.
Right. So are you playing for all those bands concurrently, or at the same time, or is it just?
Yeah, I'm actually playing with all of them, but every band has a different agenda. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Usually, these bands they only play when they have a release, when they have a new record. They are not too much of let's try to book every weekend so we can play and be famous, right? It's
Mhm.
just about the release. It's all about promoting something. So yeah, I I'm part of Powerflo since 2018. I joined right before after the first record.
Mhm.
So I recorded the second record that is gonna be released in December, January next year. And
Okay.
this is under the label New Damage from Canada.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
So that's with them, and then I have I also play with the band called Bullet Boys from it's like a hard rock band from Los Angeles
Mhm.
from like the 80s. They were like really successful in 1988. They used to be like the number one song in MTV. Yeah,
Yeah.
they have a song called Smura Peña that is super popular. They sold a bunch of copies. So I'm touring with them right now. We are playing a bunch of shows, always flying festivals, playing with Warrant, playing with all the guys from Rat, playing with all this hard rock scene, right?
Yeah.
Quiet Riot and bands like that. So we are working on a new record that is going to be released next year. So we are only writing stuff right now. So currently just touring and working with them, right?
Mm-hmm.
Then Billy Bio came out because Billy Graziati from Powerflo and Biohazard, he also has his solo project. He has his solo project called Billy Bio, and it's
Yeah.
like hardcore punk style. So I joined the band also right after he released his first record. So there was another drummer in there, and now I recorded a new record with him, and it's called Leaders and Liars. This is the vinyl.
Okay. Yeah.
This came out like maybe 8 months ago, and this is under a label called AFM from
Yeah.
Europe, from
Yeah.
Germany.
Yeah. Yeah. I've heard of it.
Check it out. This is one of the translucent red vinyl that we put out. It's great. It's great. You gotta definitely check out the songs.
I've,
So yeah, for now, Billy Bio, we released this during the pandemic, so we didn't ended up promoting it as usual, right? The whole pandemic thing kind of changed the plan for the bands because so many bands released records and they didn't go out. So we actually didn't go out, but he's right now with the Biohazard reunion. So he's touring full on right now with Biohazard. So he's doing his thing, right? So that's it with Billy. And then I have my band that is called Dead Groove. That's the band that you were talking about.
yeah. Yeah.
We dropped the record. It's a self title. It's called Dead Groove. We got signed by a label here in LA, and they put out this CD for us. I'm actually a graphic designer too. You know, as I mentioned that I used to just paint and draw. That used to be so. When I started music, my parents were like, you know, they were like, you gotta do something else. Don't you just go and play drums because you're gonna starve to death. So I was like, all right. I mean, I want to be, and I always wanted to be an architect. It's pretty weird. And then when I found out that it's so much math on it, I was like, all right, next. So then I went right over to graphic design. And then I realized that music is all math. So there's no way out.
Yeah. Yeah.
So Dead Groove, right? We released this record 4 months ago in March, and now we're gonna start touring. We're gonna start touring. This is a power trio. It's a rock and roll power trio. The bass player and singer, her name is Holly West. She plays in a band called Separella. Here is a very successful Led Zeppelin all-female tribute band.
Okay. Yeah.
So they've been doing it here for a while. So we she's a singer and bass player. I play drums with I also do vocals, and our guitar player is from Peru. So we went to Peru, record the record. So it was a great experience. But we are having some you know how the whole paperwork and legal things for visas are to come
Mm-hmm.
into the United States. So we are processing his paperwork right now. So we're
Oh,
gonna
good.
go on the road. We are gonna start. We have a tour coming up. We are going to East Coast in August. We're going to New York, New Jersey. In September, we have Arizona, Utah, and Jeff Young from Kings of Thrash, ex Megadeth. He's gonna be filling in for my guitar player Caesar.
Okay. Yeah.
So
Cool.
so we're gonna end up doing this with Jeff, going out in a couple weeks to East Coast, right? So that's Dead Groove. We have tours coming. We have the record that just came out. And then what else I have? Then Powerflo, as I mentioned, we already recorded the record. And then the last band that I just joined is this.
Yeah.
I joined these guys. I saw you. I got to meet you there at the VIP.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So the story about this band is I met Jeff Young through because there's some jams here in Hollywood that is called Ultimate Jam Night, where they get all these all-star musicians to just play a song, and just meet there, no rehearsals. It's all there, right?
Mm-hmm.
So Jeff got to play with Holly, my singer, one song, and I remember Jeff was like really upset at one of the musicians because he messed up or something, right? So then I got a chance to talk to Jeff, and he like, oh yeah, dude, this guy and blah blah blah. And then that's how we actually kind of became friends. We know each other. So he started looking at me at playing at these jams, and he definitely liked my drumming. And then I heard that Kings of Thrash was already formed, and they had a different drummer,
Mm-hmm.
and they had a show because the Ultimate Jam night they had a night that it was called a tribute to the Big Four.
Mm-hmm.
So I was the house drummer for that night. So I ended up playing, Metallica, Slayer, all this Big Four stuff, Megadeth, and Anthrax. So Keys of Thrash was playing for first time 2 songs that night. So David Ellefson was there, Jeff Young was there, and they played right before I played. I just played Slayer. So
Mm-hmm.
so they got to see me playing War Ensemble,
Mm-hmm.
which is one of the roughest songs to play on drums, to be honest, right? So they saw my drumming and they kind of kept it in mind. And then Jeff mentioned if I want to do the gig, and to be honest, I always been a Megadeth fan,
Mm-hmm.
but not the old records, right? Like everybody knows pretty much for, of course, Peace Hells and whatever came after, you know what I mean? So for me, all these songs, the old school songs, were all new to me. I heard them a couple times here and then, but I wasn't like oh yeah, I definitely know this. So I had to go there and learn all the drums pretty much.
Yeah, wow.
And then realizing that Megadeth had three drummers. They have Gar first, and then they had Chuck, and then after Chuck, they finally got Mensa, right? So, and then on and on and on, the list goes on. But those 3 drummers are the main feel of what Megadeth is, right? So I had to break them down and learn them. So we had a rehearsal just to see what's up, and management wanted like more Megadeth members. They wanted more Megadeth members. So they were actually going to pass on me playing drums because they needed another Megadeth guy, right? Because they can sell more tickets and stuff. So they ended up rehearsing with Jimmy DeGrasso.
Mm-hmm.
He was playing with Megadeth, I don't know, back in 2004. He did a bunch of DVDs. So they rehearsed with him, and he was out of gas. He really couldn't keep up. He couldn't keep up with this old stuff. It's all fast. It's all crazy. So he couldn't keep up. And I remember getting the call from Jess and like, dude, you're the only guy that can save us and blah 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 and blah blah. Like, sure, dude, I'll do it. You know what I mean? So then I started learning, and then we did the tour. We recorded the DVD and vinyl at our 4th show.
Okay, that's a 4th.
Yeah. This is the 4th show. This is last year in October. We did our first tour, and then we ended up at the Whiskey in Hollywood.
Mm-hmm.
So we recorded everything, and the record label Cleopatra Records, they ended up signing us and putting it out. So I did the design for this also. I created the cover. I created all the inner sleeve, the gatefold. We have like a collage in there.
Mm-hmm.
This is a bunch of art. So the label really, really loved the design, so they ended up hiring me.
Cool.
So now I'm exactly.
Yeah, I've got that DVD here. So
Keller, yeah, you know all about it.
Cool. It's cool. Yeah, I want to talk a little bit about about your artwork as well. I've got 2 of the t-shirts now. So the one that Chaz was wearing in the whiskey, I've got that t-shirt, and I've also got the Canberra one.
Nice.
Did you do those? Did you design those?
I had some collaboration
Okay.
On those designs, because there's a guy that kind of came out with the first idea of them, but then I ended up like tweaking them up a little, and then we ended up using that for our first tour and the merch. But yeah, for sure, I always design all the flyers. We're about to confirm some dates for December. We're playing again the Whiskey and another place in Santa Ana here in California. So I gotta design the flyer and the whole concept. But yeah, it's definitely fun. It's definitely it's something I love. Yes.
It's funny because I also do a lot of graphic design as well. So it's
Nice.
I think it's a drummer thing.
Right? Yeah, it's something embedded to that code of being a drummer. Also, it's the art. You know, it's the art. It's awesome.
It's exactly right. The I think I told you, but I get a couple of lessons from Alex Bent. So he's been working with me because both my legs don't work the same for some reason. So to do the double kick is very hard, but I'll get there.
I know, dude. To be able to do a double pedal just by demand, all right, I want to do this, and boom, it's really difficult because sometimes it's like your legs have like oh mind. They are like, sometimes they are like, nope, I'm not gonna play fast today. Sorry, I don't want to do anything, and you're like, what?
What's going on here? Exactly.
Sometimes you are fast, super fast, and I'm like, wow, what's going on? You know what I mean? So it's just a lot of practice, years of just pushing the limits. You gotta try to learn different musics, right? Different bands. Judas Priest is a good one to get all the 4/4 and 6 down with a solid beat up here. You know what I mean? But that's great. Actually, that's how I actually started. I was never part of a music school.
Yeah.
I was never, you know what I mean? Like, I was always private lessons. Always. I always took private lessons since day one. So when I came to the US for the first time, I took a bunch of lessons. I took lessons with Glenn Sobel. He's drummer for Alice Cooper.
Yeah.
I took lessons with Thomas Pridgen. He used to play with Mars Volta. It's a really well-known drummer. It's called Thomas Pridgen. I took lessons with him. I took lessons with there's another guy called Joten Afanador, and it's like a super fast drummer, really well known here in New York. He used to play with Lady Gaga, J-Lo, and all these people, So those guys are all gospel.
Yeah.
So also with drummer from Chile, he's Gambale's drummer. Really good, really good. So that's really good that you're doing that, man, because drum lessons is the best way to go to catch some like bad habits on your playing, how you're sitting, how you're. It's really important to be aware of your technique because you can get injured.
Yeah, well, that's it. I find I've got a bit of a pain in my elbow.
There you go.
Like at the moment, it's okay, but if I start playing, it after a while starts hurting. So it's
like after 3 hours or 2 hours and a half or something.
Yeah.
I also have an injury. The first time I ever had an injury here in my muscle, I guess it was like a tendonitis or something. I had a 10-day recording in Seattle. I was gonna record a record, drum and bass together. And the very first day, we were just gonna do 3 songs, and we killed it. We did it. Okay, done. And they were like, "Do you want to do one more?" And I'm like, "Sure." So we did that one more, and then I ended up messing up a muscle because I was pressuring too much with the finger. Sometimes when you hit, if you add a little extra, it's gonna hurt you, right? So I was just ready to get done, and I just kind of like hurt it the very first day. So the rest of the 10 days I've been recording, but literally like rubbing this, using like electricity, any technique that can just get it down, and I couldn't. And then literally after that, like every 2 hours and a half, 3 hours, I start feeling this weird little pain that is just, I don't like it at all. But yeah, it's difficult. It's very possible that this pain can be coming from where your right cymbal is located.
Yeah, my right cymbal's very low. I don't know if you can see that there.
It's very low and it's very on the right side.
Yeah. So it's about there, what I'm doing.
Yeah, so you're definitely pulling a little bit in here, like coming from there, you know.
Yeah. I might say when I bring it around a bit, it's, I don't know, that's,
You know, you see my setup. I have the right cymbal in between the tom 2 and the floor tom.
mm-hmm.
So it's like on like a trio, like a 2 o'clock.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's a little high, and that's my Nico McBrain influence, you know, having this right cymbal. I remember when I was a kid, I know, in vertical, just the bell looking at his face. I remember when I was a kid, I used to just set it up like that, right? Just because I love Nico. And then after 2 songs, I would be like, I couldn't even lift my arm, dude.
Yeah, wow. Hey, so with just getting back on track, which is this is good. This is exactly the perfect way.
Absolutely.
Do you offer lessons yourself? Do you do any of that sort of?
I do. I've been actually teaching at 2 schools in here. Okay. I used to teach for School of Rock, and I also used to teach for Leatherby Rock School. It's all for kids, you know what I mean? This is all rock and roll related lessons, right? They are all want to play rock and roll. They all want to play AC/DC stuff, and they are gonna be part of a band. So I actually stopped teaching in there like a month ago because I got this job with Cleopatra, and kind of like things change now, right? But I just got a lockout room in Los Angeles, and yeah, I'm gonna start doing private lessons online and all that stuff, right? But yeah, I've been teaching this for years, and also doing drum clinics and stuff.
Yeah, cool. All right. Well, what I'll do is I'll put all the links in the description. Cool. So where they can contact you and get all that sort of stuff, and we'll see if we can promote you as well.
For sure, man.
Also, if someone wants some artwork done, I can put them to you as well.
Exactly. I've been doing a bunch of online lessons during the pandemic. You know, it's a little more difficult, but it's not impossible. No. You know what I mean? It's not impossible.
Yeah, I bought myself an electronic kit when I started with Alex. And because that way he knows exactly what I'm playing, because I just run it through the mixer and it's all spot on. Perfect. And you can see exactly what we're doing, and you can say, no, do it this way, or try it this way, not do it. He always says try things, try see if that makes any difference. So what he's recommended for me is use my heels to really hit the double kick. So
use heels?
Yeah, use my whole leg and my whole foot, instead of just the balls of my foot, because before I was just doing that. Now he wants me to do that.
Okay, but for example, there's 2 techniques for double pedal. The downhill, the one that you were doing, which is really hard because it puts a lot of tension in this muscle and the muscle that is in front, right? So it's really up to how you started drumming, but I always try to recommend to not do that at first, right? So what I do is a heel up. Yeah. I lift, but my heel is never touching the floor. So I'm literally lifting the heel and using all the weight on my leg to just put that weight on it. So because if you start stomping with also your heels, you're gonna end up injuring yourself, like your back. You're gonna have like back pains and stuff like that. That's why I have something on my pedals that is called, I don't have a pedal right here, but it's called the Renzi, and it's this work with all the DW pedals. It's like an aftermarket percussion product. Okay. And you replace the heel part of your pedal with this thing, and it absorbs the impact.
Okay. Yeah. All right.
So if you are going at it and playing super loud and you just want to stomp, it doesn't hurt you as regular, because usually you have a piece of metal in there, right?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. So yeah, that's pretty much it about pedal technique. So I guess you're going from downhill to uphill, which is good because it's gonna make your strokes to be louder and consistent.
Yeah. Well, that's where I sort of want to go, and I want to get the consistency is the hardest part for me.
Absolutely.
So, it's like some days I can smash it, no problem, and then some days it's like I'm galloping. The grip.
Yeah. The best thing is just to practice to click.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I got the click, and just I don't know, my legs are a bit weird.
It's just practice. For example, when I wanted to like develop my double pedal and just try to get faster with hands also, I would schedule a whole like a workout, and I would do and I would use a click, and I would use a clock.
Mm-hmm.
So I will have a click for a paradiddle, for example. I will go 3 minutes paradiddle. So I have 3 minutes and 100 BPM. And then after I finish the 3 minutes, which is long, 3 minutes on that beat is a really hard workout. You might end up like this. But then as soon as you finish, I change the BPM to the double pedal. That is my fastest so far at that point. So I will go 1 minute of just where the hands are relaxing.
Mm-hmm.
And you're just doing pedals for a minute, and then after that minute go back to 3 minutes doing a different exercise. You can do doubles, you can do triples for 3 minutes, and that's how you're gonna pretty much get all your workout done. And you'll see that every week you're gonna notice that your tempos are gonna be bumping up, and you're gonna get faster.
Yeah, cool. No, that's good advice, mate, and I appreciate it.
Absolutely.
Appreciate that. All right. Well, listen, we'll can it now for the moment. And have you got any plans to come to Australia with Dead Groove?
Yes. We were just there, right? So we are in the works right now to book something for next year. It will be awesome to be around there. I don't know, like maybe around June, around July.
Okay.
It will be great. And so I'll be working on it with the promoters and all the stuff, and hopefully next year we'll be there. And I'm also having chats with Utopia Records so they can sell some of our CDs there. So
yeah, beautiful.
So I'll definitely let you know, and then when we have something confirmed, we'll do another interview.
Yeah, sounds great. Sounds very good. All right, mate. I'll leave you with that, and I'll talk to you shortly. Thanks very much for joining the Phat.
Awesome, brother. Thank you so
mate.
much. Nice to see you.